starting with some crocodile breathing, which would be lying facing down, really breathing through the lower ribs. And from there, you can start to stack, making sure you're keeping your ribs on the floor, starting to lift that chest up off the floor, and then going higher. So this is really going to help create some mobility in the upper back, just breathing in and then out. You can do some box breathing here, so 5 to 10 seconds in, pause for 5 to 10 seconds, exhale for 5 to 10 seconds, and then pause when you're empty, about 5 to 10 seconds. And then you can work your way up to propping yourself up further and further, but really emphasizing that coming from the upper back, not just the lower back. We want to really emphasize getting more mobility through that upper back. That's where most people are stiff. From here, move into a hip stretch, rotating in and out. Add some rotation for the upper back. Repeat that on the other side. Same thing coming forward, so you're going to get some through the hip flexor there, and the hip, depending where you're tightest, and you can adjust to emphasize one or the other. And again, getting some rotation into that upper back. Some cat camel, trying to really emphasize the upper back, not so much the lower back, trying to move. And from there, you can go into hero's pose, kind of stretch out the ankles a bit. Then leaning back, get some of those hip flexors, front of the thigh. You can even bridge up a little bit to get more of a stretch through. Come onto your side. So one of my favorites is the open book. So I like to have people exhale, slide the hand forward, inhale, draw those fingers along the arm, stopping at the breastbone there, continuing to rotate from the upper back, trying to get that shoulder blade down to the floor. Exhale as you come back. Inhale. Nice and slow, really trying to think about where you're moving from. And once you master that, then you can add opening up the other arm. Get a nice stretch. A lot of people overstretch through the shoulder because their back isn't moving. So if you're doing this and it's all coming from the arm, instead of rolling through the back and then the shoulder, you're missing out on that benefit of getting that upper back more flexible. From here, you can move on to your back. I like to bring the knees up, kind of bring the legs side to side. Again, emphasizing kind of that upper back, not so much the lower back. Most of us move pretty well there. If that's too intense for you, you can bring the feet to the floor. And nice and easy bringing side to side. From there, you can bring your legs across, kind of stretch this side of the hip. More advanced would be to leave the leg flat. Bring that across. You can prop your leg up on a yoga block if you need to. Again, trying to keep the arms, shoulder blades on the floor to really get the most out of that hip. If you want to get a little 2-for-1, you can grab the foot that's on the ground, get a nice quad stretch, and then let that knee kind of drift towards the ground, bringing your left shoulder in this case to the ground. So you're going to stretch upper back, hip flexor, and also the back of the hip with this. Then you can go into some hip mobility. Just kind of moving hips side to side, keeping that trunk as upright as you can. And then I like to start to go deeper into those motions. Just nice and easy. Feeling where you're stiff. If you feel some resistance, you can stop, move out of it, come back in. If you're particularly stiff, my left hip is, you can kind of come down into that, feel some resistance, do some deep breathing through the lower ribs, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Trying to get that from the hip, not from your upper back. And just kind of sinking into that a little bit. And you can come in and out of that. Trying to get a little bit more each time. And then to get more of a stretch, you can start to move into like a pigeon pose. And really get the back of that hip. All right, so those are the main areas that I like to hit before I ride. There's other ones other than that, but if you have any questions, just let me know what they are. If you want more stuff on the foot and ankle, maybe hands, wrists, whatever that might be, go ahead and send me a message. If you'd like to work with me, go ahead and email, call, text, and we'll get you moving better.